this truth, nigga. Cool zone. Go to grab, 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 go to grab. It's all about that warfare, boy. Give grab, give grab, give grab, back up, give grab, give grab, give grab, back up, give grab, give grab. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take grab, 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 take grab. My soldiers take grab till I'm stand down. Take grab, take grab, take grab, take grab, take grab, take grab, take grab. My soldiers take grab till I'm stand down. Oh, thought you could cross us with no consequence, but you will pay daily. You should've used your common sense. My zeal lit, that means you could never prevail. Hey, with a true sit, hey, with warriors square. Be wise with them weapons, cause I promise. My nine just like my wife, she concealed, she modest. I know two things, a robber will not prosper. And any man harm me and my octave gon' meet the doctor. Cause this life is warfare, it's not an easy walk. Been watching my people die so you can miss me with that love talk. My UPK soldiers, any man try to cross your path, make him regret it. What that means? Fall on his ass. Comparing me to you really ain't no contest. Lonely one west, say what? Lonely one west. This for those who thinking we ain't ready for. Tell them back up, I'm about to drop something heavy for. Go to grab, 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 go to grab. It's all about that warfare, boy. Give grab, give grab, give grab, back up, give grab, give grab, give grab, back up, give grab, give grab. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take grab, 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 take grab. My soldiers take grab till I'm stand down. Take grab, take grab, take grab, take grab, take grab, take grab, take grab. My soldiers take grab till I'm stand down, boy.
I can learn to understand you much better if I can get familiar with the way you talk. I can learn to understand you much better if I can get familiar with the way you talk. I need your permission to help.
Yeah, you ain't standing before this truth. You understand? We done took them all on and gonna continue to take them all on.
Surrounded by Edomites, lost a lot of.
Take grab, take grab, take grab, take grab. My soldiers take grab till I'm stand down. Take grab, take grab, take grab, take grab, take grab, take grab, take grab. My soldiers take grab till I'm stand down. Take grab, take grab, take grab. Nah, this ain't no movement, this a takedown. We would not be moved or intimidated. We ain't the type. You got a problem? Tell them cross the fucking line. My niggas ain't polite. Soldiers to the left and right. I die for every man body. Before I be a coward, I'd rather be a dead body. This will be my kingdom when the hour pass. You can either get with it or get flipped like an hourglass. We live by honor and no excuse. Just send the prayer up to the Lord. I told him to let all the terrorists loose. Hold your tongue or get rebuked, cause you made a truce. With a race that made merchandise out of my abuse. Scared of who? You got your gun, then pull it. Me and my niggas start to argue, it's about who gon' bite the bullet. It gon' take round, take round, take round. Opponents better move slow. Attack dog for this truth, nigga. Cool zone. Go to grab, 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 go to grab. It's all about that warfare, boy. Give grab, give grab, give grab, back up, give grab, give grab, give grab, back up, give grab, give grab. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take grab, 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 take grab. My soldiers take grab till I'm stand down. Take grab, take grab, take grab, take grab, take grab, take grab, take grab. My soldiers take grab till I'm stand down. Oh, thought you could cross us with no consequence, but you will pay daily. You should've used your common sense. My zeal lit, that means you could never prevail. Hey, with a true sit, hey, with warriors dwell. Be wise with them weapons, cause I promise. My nine just like my wife, she concealed, she modest. I know two things, a robber will not prosper. And any man harm me and my octave gon' meet the doctor. Cause this life is warfare, it's not an easy walk. Been watching my people die so you can miss me with that love talk. My UPK soldiers, any man try to cross your path, make him regret it. What that means? Fall
you on both of them.
Right. Hey, Shalom Israel, Shalom Bmore, you understand? We the Isupk, the Israelite School University of Practical Knowledge coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, you understand? We have the Commanding General Yohana, and if it is not under Commanding General Yohana, it is not the truth, you understand? And we've been bringing this truth out since 1969, and I mean, the truth that we are the true Jews of the Bible, the true children of the Lord, you understand? We supposed to be keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, you feel me? And that's how we're going to shed ourselves of this world. That's how we're going to take our righteous place in this earth back again, you understand? You know, all what you see these wicked leaders out here telling us to do is not what it's going to take to get us back on top, you understand? All you've been hearing lately is vote, 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 you feel me? Like, that's not going to fix our conditions. Like, us voting is not going to put us back, you know, in a position that the Lord has for us, you understand? But keeping these laws will, you feel me? And that's what we've been bringing out since 1969, and that's heavy. Because everybody in the earth will tell you that these laws are done away with and you ain't got to keep them. But they'll tell you that you better vote, you feel me? Because our ancestors died for us to vote, you understand, with that nonsense, you know? And we want to bring it out today, how God is not only against voting, but God is against these wicked leaders, you understand? These wicked leaders, meaning the pastors, the Muslim imams, you understand, these politicians, you know, these athletes, you know, and these musicians and entertainers, you know, they pretty much do the bidding of the devil himself, you understand? And it seems like it's something we should be doing. The whole earth is pushing, when I say the whole earth, I'm talking about black people, you understand? Every black entertainer, you know, politician, Christian, preacher, pastor, deacon, whatever you want to call them, you feel me? Telling now people that we should be voting, and this is how we're going to change the conditions black people in. I'm here to tell you that that's not going to work. You understand? Following after these leaders, voting and all that nonsense, you feel me? It's not going to work for us, you understand? But we're going to get that in the scriptures, you understand? We're going to show according to the Bible what the Lord expects from us. Because at the end of the day, if we doing anything and it's not the will of God, we can all agree that it's going to fall, it's going to come to nothing. You understand? Like, we've been voting for decades now, you understand? And our conditions has gotten worse. Like, we're in a worse condition now than we were before integration. Now, there's a lot of our people out here that's for integration, and we'll sit back and say, you know, how integration was good for black people. Look at all the advancements we've made, yada yada. Integration destroyed the black community. It destroyed the black family. You understand? You know, we're going to get this in the scriptures. You understand? First of all, we got to understand who we are and what the Lord expects of us. You understand? Like, we've been searching for our identity since we came to this land. Now that we have our identity, we know who we are, you understand? It's a power that we serve, you feel me, that tells us, listen, you better do X, Y, and Z in order to get A, B, and C. You see what I'm saying? But if you don't do this, this is also what you're going to get. And far too often, we've been doing the things that we're not supposed to do. And this is why we land in the position that we're in. Like, we're in a position right now where the slogan is vote or die. Vote or die. That was the same slogan in 2012 when Barack Obama was being getting elected. You understand? Vote or die. And guess what? Even under Barack Obama's regime, black men, women, and children still died. Even after his regime, and you understand, we're still dying, and we're still voting. No justice, no peace. We ain't getting justice, you clearly see that. But we peaceful about everything. I'm not saying we're supposed to go out here and be violent. I'm not saying we're supposed to go out here and do anything, you know what I mean, that's against the will of the Lord, you understand? But goddamn, like, you know, how many marches do we gotta have? How many protests do we gotta have until we realize that we got to do something different now. You understand? If I could, let me get Deuteronomy 20. I'm gonna just touch on this briefly. Deuteronomy 28:1, and then I'm gonna jump down to 28:15. We just want to jump on the blessings and the curses quickly. You understand? The Lord is telling us what we got to do in order to receive blessings. But He's also telling us the curses that will befall us. You understand? If we don't do what He told us to do. You got that? Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 28:15.
28:1 first.
28:1.
So I get that mic on?
No.
All right.
Deuteronomy 28:1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
And it shall come to pass, meaning like this is something that's going to happen. You know, this is something for certain that is going to happen. Something that pretty much like you can bet your top dollar on, you feel me, when it comes, this shall come to pass. And thou shalt hearken diligently. If you should listen closely to what the words that the Most High about to say. Listen to them and do them. Keep going.
To observe and to do all his commandments.
To observe and to do all his commandments, not some of his commandments, not the not the bare minimum of his commandments, to do all his commandments. Keep going.
Which I command thee this day.
Which I command thee this day. What day is that? If it's the first time you're hearing it, this is that day. Like right now, the Most High is talking to you directly. If it's the first time you're hearing this, this is the day that it's speaking of, the day that you're hearing it. Keep going.
That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations.
That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations. Right now, we out here marching and protesting for equality. The Lord say, if you observe and do all that I told you to do, I'll set you on high above all the nations. You understand? We marching and praying and pleading for equality. The Lord is trying to give us supremacy. The Lord is trying to give us the entire earth. You understand? He's trying to put us above all the other nations, but yet we want to be equal to him. Keep going.
Of the earth. 2. And all these blessings shall come upon thee.
And all these blessings shall come upon thee. You understand?
Come on thee, selection.
Here's the thing. When we do what the Lord told us to do, when we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, and we do exactly as the Lord has instructed us to do, not only will he set us on high above all these other nations, he's going to bless us. So that's how we get blessings, according to the Lord. Like the Lord never told us to go ahead and vote. The Lord never told us to go ahead and march or protest. The Lord never told us to do none of those things. The Lord told us that we got to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments and hearken diligently to him. You understand? Listen to what he's telling us. That's what we were taught, according to the scriptures. You understand? Now drop down to verse 15, Brother Kashab. Those are the blessings. That's how we receive our blessings. Verse 15 is going to sound a little more familiar to us because this is what we've been living, you know, since we've been here and since we've been taught not to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. You understand? People, read that 15, Brother Kashab.
Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass.
Again, it shall come to pass. This is going to happen. You understand? Like, this shall come to pass. Like, for sure, this is going to happen. Keep going.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments.
If thou wilt not hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments. Like, if we don't want to listen to the Most High, if we don't want to listen to the words that's in this book, the oracles of the Lord himself, you understand? This is what the Most High is saying. If we don't want to listen to him, keep going.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. You understand? So if you ever wonder why, we in the conditions we're in, if you ever wonder why blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are always at the lowest end of the totem pole, you understand? This is why. You understand? It's because we're not hearkening diligently to the Lord, the voice of the Lord our God, you understand? Instead, we're listening to the voice of our oppressor, the devil of the Bible, you understand? The so-called white man, the colonizer, you understand? That's the voice that we listen to. We don't listen to the voice of the Most High, and this is why we're right now, we're cursed. We're so cursed that we actually is out here saying we gotta vote or die. Your life depends on a vote, you understand? Black man, Hispanic, and Native American, man, woman, and child, our life is more than a vote, you understand? It is more than a vote. Keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments makes our life precious. You understand? Every black, Hispanic, and Native American, I don't care what condition you are in. You understand? When you come back to keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, you are precious to the Lord. And this is what our leaders will not tell us, you understand? You're not just no average Joe because you know, when you decide to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, the strength and courage and the heart that it takes to actually say, you know what, I'm going to step away from this kingdom, from this empire, from what this nation is telling me to do, and I'm going to follow the Lord. It takes courage to do that. You understand? It takes courage to do that. It takes a heart and a desire to serve the Lord. Your life is precious when you do that. You understand? And this is the breath of life. When you start keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, you're now considered a living soul. You feel me? Right now, we have the walking dead out here. Yeah, people are upright, they're walking, but like spiritually, their soul is dead, you understand? It's not feeding on nothing. You come back to keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, you're going to understand that God ain't trying to give us equality. God is trying to give us supremacy, you understand? Let me get Isaiah 9 and verse 16, go to the show. I mean, we got to bring this out. Like, we got to bring it out. Week in and week out. You understand? You know why we got to do it? Because the enemies of God, they are going so hard, you understand, in this earth.
4:9.
No, Isaiah 9 and 16. The enemies of God are going hard in this earth, pushing the doctrines of devils, you understand? So this is why we gotta go hard as we bring out God's truth, you understand? Then you gotta realize that everything that we've been taught that's right here in this nation is against the Lord, including voting. But the thing is, it feels so right. It seems so right because we've entrusted our confidence into leaders who don't give a damn about us, you understand? And we want to show how not only that the Lord is against the Lord is against voting, but the Lord is against these wicked preachers, these wicked pastors, these entertainers, you understand, who hate him. You understand? These people actually hate God, you understand? So we want to get that in scripture. You got that? Go ahead.
Isaiah 9 and 16. For the leaders of this people cause them to error.
For the leaders of this people cause them to err. What people is that? You understand? The leaders of what people cause them to err? The leader of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans cause us to err. You understand? Go ahead.
And they that are led of them are destroyed.
And they that are led of them are destroyed. Meaning, every time you hear an entertainer comes on TV, a politician, you know, a deacon, an elder, whatever the hell you want to call them, an imam, and they say, you know what? You know, you gotta vote. This is the most important election in your life right now, you understand? And if you don't vote this year, you don't have a place to speak on black issues. Like I heard that they're continuously playing this on the radio right now, on the TVs right now, you understand? Like you got a half a homosexual sitting up there in the pulpit, you understand, doing all manners of wickedness, all manner of sin, you understand? And he's getting on the mic and telling black people that if you do not vote in this year's upcoming election, that you don't have a voice and you disqualify yourself from speaking on black issues because black people don't matter to you. You understand? Do you see the evil and do you see the wickedness in that? You understand? And You would think that somebody would check that in him. But no, he's getting praised. You understand? Our leaders cause us to err, and those that are led of them are destroyed. Any more of that? What's that, 17?
17?
Come.
17. Therefore the Lord shall have no joy in their young men.
Therefore the Lord shall have no joy in their young men. You understand? So when our leaders cause us to err, and our leaders destroy, pretty much lead us down the path of destruction, the Lord don't take no pleasure in our young men. You understand? You ever wonder why so many murders in predominantly black cities? It's so many murders because we've been led astray. You understand? The Lord can't even take pleasure in the young men no more because of the fact that our leaders have caused us to sin. Because our leaders tell us that if we don't vote and we serve the Lord, you feel me, we don't have a place for black people. You understand? That's how wicked they are. That's how evil they are. What he should be saying, and what every pastor and every entertainer should be saying, is God is against homosexuality. You understand? God is against you eating them pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You understand? God is against you smoking and getting high. You understand? That's not the culture of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's the culture of the so-called white man. And every time we do those things, we're only imitating our oppressor. You understand? We not gangsters. We not gangsters and hooligans and whatnot, you feel me? That's why every so-called black gangster, you feel me, he got an Italian name. You know, Lil Gotti. What's another one? What's another one they be called? You got Gotti, Lil Capone, Lil Nitty, all that nonsense, you feel me? That's not us. We imitating our oppressor. We imitating the very people that set out to kill us, you understand? But we consider ourselves gangsters. That's not our culture, man. We are a righteous people, you feel me, who serve the Lord. But when our wicked leaders tell us to go out here and follow our oppressor, follow this colonizer who set out to kill us, you understand? This is what we become. We become murderers because they are murderers. We become homosexuals because they are homosexuals. You understand? We become sexual deviants because they are sexual deviants. You understand? Everything everything about them that's against the Lord, we become. Because we want to follow them, you feel me? Because our leaders told us that it was the right thing to do. You understand? But what we don't see is the Lord don't take pleasure in our young men. So what does that mean? The Lord is not taking pleasure now in our young men no more, which means our young men don't even have the Lord's protection. That's why you see so many brothers getting their head blew off, you understand? This is why you see that. It don't become real into your son, to your nephew, to your father, to your brother, to your uncle, get a bullet to the back of his head, you understand? And then we wonder why. The reason it's happening to us is because we're following our oppressor, you understand? The reason we're following our oppressor is because we put our confidence in wicked men. We put our confidence in wicked men who tell us that the Bible is null and void. We ain't got to keep no laws, statutes, and commandments. It's done away with, you understand? We should be voting, though. When a man or woman tells you that the laws are done away with, you feel me? They hate you. That's what we gotta understand. Like a person who tells you that you don't have to follow the rules and regulations, you don't have to discipline yourself, you don't have to live by any certain moral compass. A person who teaches you that that's okay, a person who teaches you that they only do it because they hate you. You understand? These wicked leaders out here, they hate black people. They hate black people so much that they're willing to put us on death row. You understand? Because when we start breaking the laws of God, I feel like it's done away with. That's essentially the life that we're living. It's death row. You understand? We're just waiting for our time now. That's all it is, you understand? Any more of that?
Neither shall have mercy on their fathers and widows.
Neither shall he have mercy on the fatherless and widows, you understand? Like, the Lord can't take pleasure in our young men. The Lord won't even have mercy on the fatherless and the widows. Why? Because we've been taught to hate him. Now, let's make it make sense. Like, imagine you as a parent. Imagine you as a parent. You teach your kids the rules of your house. You understand? You're not giving your kids rules because you hate them. You're giving your kids rules because you love them. You understand? You want to see them succeed in life. You want to see them do things the right way. So you give them discipline. You give them some kind of moral compass that they can always draw from even as they get older. You understand?
Right.
So imagine you raising your kid a certain way. You instilling certain principles in your kid. And then you have an outsider come. That outsider come and tell you, you know you ain't got to follow that rules, right? You know your father don't know what you're talking about, right? You know your mother really hates you, and she only giving you rules because she just like you. You understand? You don't really got to follow the rules. They're not going to put you out. You understand? Imagine you got a person that comes in your house and teach your kids to rebel against you. You understand? What are you going to do as a parent? Are you going to have unconditional love for them? Are you going to put up with them while they disrespect you in your house? What are you going to do? 10 times out of 10, a good parent will put that kid out, you understand? Will put that kid out the house and let that kid live the life that kid, was falsely deceived into following. You understand? Until they get, all the bumps and bruises and scrapes that they can muster, you feel me? And they crawl back home. And then they say, hey dad or hey mom, I want to come back and I'm willing to follow your rules. Then you let them back in the house, But that person who initially told them that they had to respect you, that they had to follow the rules, you understand? That's the evil one. That's the devil that the Bible speaks of, you understand? That's no different from this so-called white man. You understand? That's what he's done to our families. But the thing is, he's actually used us to push and forward his message. Every black pastor, every Muslim imam, every entertainer, every singer, dancer, whatever you want to call a basketball or football player, you understand? They're only furthering the will of the devil. You understand? They furthering the will of this so-called white man. You understand? Every time they tell us to vote. Every time they tell us that God's laws are done away with, you understand? If I could, let me get
Sure. You finished?
Is some more of that?
For everyone is a hypocrite and an evildoer, and every mouth speaketh folly. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still.
Yeah, start that from the top. We're going to slow it down a little bit.
Therefore, the Lord shall have no joy in their young men, neither shall he have mercy on their fatherless and widows. For everyone is a hypocrite.
For everyone is a hypocrite, you understand? What is a hypocrite? A hypocrite is someone who says one thing and does another, you understand? You got people saying that they love God, but they all of their actions are suggesting that they don't. Yeah, we love Jesus. I got a personal relationship with Jesus. I love God, you understand? But you ain't got to keep his rules. You ain't got to keep them law, statutes, and commandments no more. That's done away with, you understand? It's washed in the blood of Jesus. That's a hypocrite. Keep going.
And an evildoer.
And an evildoer, you understand? What?
And every mouth speaketh folly.
And every mouth speaketh folly, you understand? What is folly? Folly is like foolish, you understand? Every mouth speaketh foolish, you understand? Every time you tell a person not to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of God, every time you tell a man not to that he better vote, or he has no place with black people and all that nonsense, you understand? You are foolish, you understand? You go on?
For all this, his anger is not turned away.
But his anger is not turned away, you understand? Like we doing certain things and the Lord is allowing his anger to kindle against against us, you understand? He's not turning his anger from us. You understand? Keep going.
But his hand is stretched out still.
But his hand is stretched out still, you understand? That's metaphoric for the Lord has, these are the curses that we just read in Deuteronomy 28. You understand? When they say his hand is stretched out, you understand? His hand being stretched out, meaning right now, like, listen, you ain't got to believe a word that I say, but when I tell you it's a death angel over Baltimore, you understand? Like, even during the shutdowns of coronavirus, the homicide numbers did not decline here in Baltimore. You understand? His hand is still stretched out towards his people, you understand? Why? Because we're not doing what he told us to do. Keep going.
18. For wickedness burneth as the fire.
For wickedness burneth as the fire, you understand? When the fire gets going, it's hard to stop it, you understand? Like a fire, you just add wood to it, you feel me? And it'll keep going. You keep feeding that fire, it's going to get bigger, and it's going to get stronger, you understand? So is wickedness, you understand? When wickedness does not get checked in its infant form, you understand? Like it's a scripture that say a little leaven, a little sin will leaven the whole. A little leaven will what is it? A little sin will leaven the entire piece of bread. You know what I mean? That so-called small sin that you think you have, that little small sin. Maybe it's lying, maybe it's stealing, you think it's something small. If not properly checked, it's going to grow, it's going to fester, and then it's going to turn into even bigger forms of sin. Just like if you feed fire, you put some wood on fire, it's going to go bigger and stronger. The Lord is saying your wickedness is as a fire. This is how our wickedness is, you understand? It keeps growing. Keep going.
It shall devour the berries and the thorns.
It shall devour the berries and the thorns. Pretty much it's going to devour everything, you understand? Keep going.
And it shall kindle in the thickets of the forest.
And it shall kindle in the thickness of the forest. This is talking about wickedness. It's talking about a fire in the forest, you understand? We all know once the fire hits the forest, you understand, it ain't no stopping it. That's why they have forest fires. It's the same thing. Once wickedness comes into the lives, into the communities of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, it's just like a fire in the forest. It spreads, you understand? As soon as we're told that we got to vote, it starts to spread. As soon as we're told that we ain't got to keep no laws, statutes, or commandments, it spreads, you understand? As soon as we're told to celebrate Halloween, it spreads. As soon as we're told to celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas, and all of this nonsense, it spreads. That's how wickedness spreads, just like that fire in the forest. Keep going.
And they shall mount up like the lifting of smoke.
And they shall mount up like the lifting of smoke. You understand? Like this is how our sin is. You understand? This is how wickedness is. You understand? Our wickedness and our sin, it burns as a fire. And the stench goes into heaven, you understand? That's why the Lord is rejecting us. The Lord is rejecting us because of this, man. Like here in the Isupk, you understand, we not the enemies of black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, you understand? We are this is the school that the Lord has set up to bring truth and order to this earth again, you understand? To bring truth and order to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you understand? Not so that you will die, so that you can live. You understand?
Right.
Like right now, we still have our Hispanic children being murdered on the border, being separated at the border. Whereas though when a black man, we're always told that we gotta forgive and forget, right? We're told we gotta forgive every offense, right? That's what we taught. But on the border, they going hard on our Isupk brothers, our Mexican brothers, you understand? Our Hispanic brothers, our Latin brothers, you understand? They separating children. They putting children into sex slavery. They drinking out of dirty toilet bowls, you understand? But it's like no one gives a damn. No one gives a damn about this beast, this devil that is doing this to our people. You understand? Like, and this is the problem. Your pastors are not going to speak out on that. You know why? Because they're doing the bidding of their father, the devil. You understand? Like, this is why Isupk is here. We're here because we love our people. Not only we love God and we love our people so much that we're willing to come out here and say the unpopular thing. You understand? While the entire earth is telling blacks, Hispanics, and natives to vote and not to serve God, we're telling you should not vote. You better not vote if you want to live. Vote or die. No, it's vote and die. You understand? If you vote, consider it a death penalty offense. You understand? Like, this is how we got to start looking at things. That's what happens in our communities. You understand? Any more on that?
119?
No, let's drop that. Let me get Deuteronomy 17 and 15. We're gonna get some more of the scriptures. Understand? Deuteronomy 17 and 15.
Deuteronomy 17 and 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him a king, king over thee.
It's like, give me 1 second. Let me get the scripture with you. And real quick, just to sidebar, Salakia for the late start, we was having some technical difficulties. We had to work out, so we back up and running now. So, the water, to the bar for that, for getting that straight. You see what I'm saying? Back on. So, it's a Deuteronomy 17, 15. Start at verse 14, Brother Bishop.
Okay. 17 and 14. When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me.
Right. Here's the thing. At this time, Israel was coming into some land, you understand, and all the other nations, they would set kings over them, you understand. They would set kings to rule them, you understand. Our king was, who we know as Christ, Yahweh Shah Mashiach in the Hebrew, you understand. Like, he's our king. He's the one who we follow, you understand. We follow the Most High, you feel me, but we follow the examples of Christ, you understand. Like, this is what we've always done. But when we came into a foreign land, we wanted to do like these foreigners did, you understand? We wanted to do as these heathens did. And we wanted to set a king and appoint another king over top of us, you understand? Keep going.
15. Thou shalt in any wise set a king over thee.
Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, you understand? Thou shalt in any wise set him president over thee. You understand?
Right.
Like, this is what the Lord is saying. These ain't our words. That same, the king, the position of the president is the same thing as a king was in the Bible. That's why they say, the king of the president of the United States is the leader of the free world. You understand? The Lord is saying, thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee. Keep on.
Whom the Lord thy God shall choose.
Keep on.
One from among thy brethren shall thou set king over thee.
The Lord is saying, I'll choose who I'm going to set above you. You understand? And it said that choose from among your brethren. You understand? We should not be sitting out here going to vote first and foremost, you understand? But even more, we should not be going and setting other nations above us to rule us, you understand? Like, we got to understand that just because we were born here, we're not Americans. We're not Americans, you understand? Like, we are the nation of Israel. We are the nation of Israel. We are not the nation of America. And that's where a lot of our people get confused, because they feel like since we were born here, America is our nation. America is not our nation. You understand? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we belong to the Lord. You understand?
That's right.
We do not belong to the so-called white man. We belong to the Lord himself. And we are the nation of Israel. We are not Americans. We're not African Americans. We're none of those things.
That's so heavy you saying that, because that's why we all joined the Army, Navy, and Air Force.
Right.
Thinking we are one.
Right.
But the Lord is telling us that we are not to join these other nations.
Right. That's an excellent point, you feel me? Like, we feel a conviction to fight for our people. Every Black, Hispanic, and Native American, I don't even want to say Native American. Every Black, Hispanic, or Native, you understand? We feel convicted in the fact that we should serve our nation, you understand? But the problem is, we've been taught that this nation that we live in, this nation that we were brought to be slaves in, we feel like this is our nation. You understand, Lord?
And if it was, why would they rob, rape, and murder us for 400 plus years? If this was our nation, why would they go to war against us?
Right.
Why would they put us in slavery?
Why are they going to war against us? Why would they put us in slavery? Why are they killing us? You understand? If this was our nation.
Right.
If we were all one. You see, here's the thing. We realize something that they realize something that we don't. They realize that we are different people. You understand? They realize that we're not the same. They realize that we're separate nations. That's why they do what they do. But we still at peace with them while they're at war with us. Go ahead.
That's heavy that you said that, because they realize we all are different nations.
Right.
Of people. But the thing they hate is that we are God's chosen nation.
Right. That's an excellent point.
So they are against us, and they hate us, like the Bible say. That's why God say they are thy enemy. Right.
The Lord called them our enemies, you understand? Because you gotta realize they know who we are. Like, don't get it twisted. You know, only us. We're the only people on the face of the earth that when you hear a black man say that I'm an Israelite, we say, man, them Negroes crazy, man. We ain't no Israelites. We ain't that. We the only people that feel that way. Because when our oppressor hear us say that, guess what? They know we telling the truth.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's why the Bible says we are a nation not desired.
A nation not desired.
Everybody else desire. You can come on in America, we give you some money, we give you taxes. But Israel, they hate us. They ain't desired. They ain't gonna give us nothing.
That ain't right. And you know what? That's how the Lord wanted. The Lord don't want them handing us nothing. You know why? Because when they start giving us, and they're giving us gifts, and they start being pleasant with us, and they start dealing with us fairly, you know what we're going to do? We're going to turn against God again.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as our oppressor gives us a little bit of, just a little bit of a break, a day off, a couple extra dollars in our paycheck, we turn against our only safety. We turn against the Most High, and we turn towards our oppressor. You understand? So
right.
It's a good thing that the Lord did not put it in their spirit to love us. You understand? Because we would then start to hate Him. But the fact that we go into His militaries and we fight His wars, we die for Him, we do everything we can to prove to Him that we're one of you. You understand? But He already know that we're not. Black, Hispanic, and Native American man, you feel me? Your army is with the Lord. Isupk, you understand? Keep going.
Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brethren. Thy brother.
Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother, right? So for every black person, because listen, check this out. We should not be voting for Trump. And guess what? We should not be voting for Biden. You understand? We should not be voting for neither one of them. You understand? You know what we should be doing? We should be giving our loyalty back to the Most High. But
there had never been a president that we should have ever voted for. That includes Obama.
There has never been a presidential candidate that we should have ever voted for, including Obama, because Obama is a what according to the scriptures?
African.
He's not only is African, but the scripture we just read, Obama is a stranger.
Yeah.
You understand? The Lord said, don't set them above us. You understand? Like, we gotta realize this is why the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, this is actually why he will never have a black man above him. Because he read this verse and he said, you know what? The black people will not tell me what to do. But
see, that's the problem that we have being destroyed from a lack of knowledge. We look at the color black and think he is us.
Right.
But God says in the Bible, you are what your father is.
Right.
And that man's father is a white man. Oh, that's like Barack father is African. So he is not our people. But we broke our neck to vote for him because of his color.
And like, let's say you didn't grasp that, right? Let's say we don't grasp the fact that you are what your father is, and that Barack Obama is an African and a Hamite according to the scriptures. Let's say you don't grasp that, right? Look at the city of Chicago. Look at the city of Chicago right now, you feel me? It's in peril. They have no resources. They don't have gyms. They don't have no kind of outreach. They don't have no resources that they can use. You understand? But this is where Obama's from. But guess what? He's building wells and schools and colleges over in Africa. You understand? You know why? Because he loved his people. He loved his people, and he realized something early on, that these brothers that he was around, they not his real brothers. Those brothers that's over there, the little PEA kids over there, you feel me? He realized that they was the people that he was for. Obama. His presidency wasn't to fix black people here.
Because he did nothing.
He did absolutely nothing. If anything, he harmed us. You understand? His presidency was to help them over there and his home, his family. You understand? And that's what he did. So we got to stop looking at color and realize that the Lord looks at us as a nation. You understand? And black, Hispanic, and Native American, man, you are the greatest nation on the face of this earth.
That's right.
But we got to come back to doing what the Lord told us to do. But we got to start shunning these wicked leaders that's amongst us, you feel me? They hate us, and we know it. But the thing is, we feel like that's the only people that we can turn to, you feel me? Check this out. When you have questions, if you need counseling, if you need anything as it pertains to the Lord, as it pertains to life, you feel me? You can come to the Isupk and get all your questions and get all your needs met, you understand? All you got to do is come. You understand? Go ahead.
You don't even have to do that. You can just go online and call in, type in the question.
Yeah,
ask any questions you need.
Come on, yeah, you can stay online, you can go in and type
in the comfort of your home.
If you want that real brotherhood, you know, because don't get me wrong, the classes are cool. It's good to be able to greet you, man. It's good to hear video, and if you in a place where, you know, we may not be in your city and it's a distance you can't get to us, I understand. But check this out. Get in these classes, you feel me?
Right.
Come feel the brotherhood. Come look a brother as a you know, come see a brother and deal with a brother on the level in which he can look at you and you can look at him. And you know that it's real. You understand? Like, that's as blacks and Hispanics and natives, that's what we do. You understand? Like, we gotta look each other in the eyes, you feel me, and see if this thing real or not, you feel me? You come up in the eyes, you can feel this and feel brotherhood for the first time in your life. Something you will not find in the Christian church. That's why I don't know that's why no strong black man wants to be in the Christian church, you understand? Very weak. There's a lot of murmuring, you feel me? A lot of feminine things going on there, you understand? But this is why we got to come out of these places. You understand? Any more on that?
Where we at? Oh,
If I could, let me get Slack. Who's that? Slack. Who's that?
Deuteronomy.
No, right here. Who's that?
Sapphire.
Come. If I could, let me get Psalms 118, verse 8 and 9. We're gonna get this in the scripture, you understand? That we should not be voting, you understand? Not only that we should not be voting, you understand? Like, we gotta put our loyalty.
You said 118?
No, 118 and verse 8. We gotta put our loyalty back into the Most High, back into keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, you understand? That's the real freedom that we seeking. If we want justice in this earth, like if you want to see justice for every brother and every sister and every child slain here in this nation, you understand? Voting is not going to get that. We actually got to do what the Lord is saying, because the Lord is the one that's going to take vengeance on our behalf. You understand?
Right.
You got that?
Come on.
What?
Psalms 118 and 8. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man.
It says it is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. So right now, you got political candidates, they're saying, if you vote for me, I'm going to put X amount of money into the black community. I'm going to put X amount of money into black schools, you understand, and resources, you understand. He's lying out. He does this and says this every election season. The Lord is saying, it's better to trust in the Lord than to put your confidence in man. Keep going.
9. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes.
It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes. You understand? We read in Deuteronomy 28:1, right? We did go to that.
Right.
And it said if you listen to the voice of the Lord thy God, you understand, all these blessings shall overtake you. The Lord said he's going to put us above all nations if we can learn to do what he told us to do, right?
Right.
The Lord says it's better to trust into me and put your trust into me than to put the confidence in these princes, to put your confidence in man. What does man tell us to do?
Lies.
He is nothing but lies. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. You feel me? I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to put you in this position. I'm going to give you this job. I'm going to do this X, Y, and Z for you, right? The Lord say, man, keep my law, statutes, and commandments. Trust in that before you trust what you see on them TVs. When you see that politician telling you what he's going to do and he's laying out his elaborate plan and telling you why you should vote for him, you remember this verse, you remember this scripture, you understand? The Lord is telling you to put your confidence in him, to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. You keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, you understand? That's when we're going to get true justice in this earth.
Right.
That's when we'll come back to not being equal, but to being above all these other nations. You understand? Don't let these wicked preachers and these imams and these entertainers and basketball players, don't let them trick you out your inheritance, man. Because that's all they're doing. Right now, they've sold themselves, you understand, for the riches of this world, for the riches of this kingdom. Right now, we gotta hold fast to the oracles of the Lord, man. We hold fast to the oracles of the Lord, and that's where our true salvation lies. You understand?
Right.
That's where our true faith, our true hope lies in keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. The Lord is telling us to trust in him. You know, I always like bringing it home, you understand? Like, your parent is telling you, hey, listen, man, this person on the street, they making you a lot of promises right now. I'm telling you, I've seen it before. You know, you may have a son that want to go out here and hustle and be in the streets, you feel me, because it look cool. He make one gangbang because he see them actually, you know, they looking like they flourishing. They should all want one young you know, you may see, your son may see the lavish life, you feel me, and feel like he want to live that lifestyle, right? You tell your son, man, trust in the things I'm telling you, man. Listen to the rules that I'm giving you, and you're going to be wise you're gonna be not only wiser than the dudes that you're looking at, you feel me? You're gonna have far more than them. This is what your parents telling you. This is the same thing the Most High is telling us. You're not gonna be you're not gonna be equal to them.
Right.
I'm not raising you a certain way. I'm not raising you this way for you to be equal to some wicked people. I'm raising you so you can be better than them. You understand? This is what the Lord is telling us right now.
Right.
But as soon as you turn your TV on, you know what you're gonna hear? Either you gotta vote or your voice do not matter as it pertains to black people. You feel me? How wicked can you be? That's why we gotta do away with these Christian pastors and these churches and these religious institutions, man. They gotta come down, man. Because they're putting our people on death row, man. Every time we vote, every time we're told that we ain't gotta keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, and the God's laws are done away with and all that nonsense, you feel me? We are being put on death row, you feel me, and sent to the slaughterhouse. That's all it is. That's why we keep getting 350, 400 murders consistently in black cities, you understand? Any more on that?
10. 10.
No, it's not. Drop that for 1 second. Let me get Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. Hosea 4, verse 6.
Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
The Lord is saying, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, you understand? Blacks, Hispanics, and natives are destroyed because we don't have proper knowledge, you understand? We lack knowledge, you understand? But here's the thing, we don't have to remain in that state. The Lord has set up Isupk, you understand? The Lord is sending his priests and prophets into this earth so that you don't have that excuse no more. Yeah, we've been destroyed for a lack of knowledge, you feel me? But we don't have to stay in that condition, you understand? How do we get out of that condition? Is voting going to get us out of that condition? Voting is the condition that voting is what keeps us in the dark, you understand?
Right.
Because, like, if you can gather the reality of what voting really is, this is what you hear people say is, well, I don't really feel this candidate. I don't feel that candidate. I'm going to choose the lesser of the two evils. You understand? Here's the thing: we don't have to choose evil at all. Whenever you have to make a decision between which evil you're going to serve, instead of saying I'm going to serve a righteous entity or I'm going to serve a righteous man or a righteous God, that's how you know we're in the system that the devil has brought forth. You understand? I'm going to choose the lesser of the two evils. Every time we vote, all we're doing is we're solidifying our confidence in a wicked man. You understand? A wicked man who's an enemy to God. That's all voting is. So if you got a wicked man and he's an enemy to God, and we vote to put him over us when the Lord told us not to, guess what? We become an enemy of God. We become the same enemy that we just sided with as it pertains to God. You understand? The scripture says, if God is for us, who can be against you? You understand? I would rather stand on the side of God, you feel me, have everybody else hate me, but have the Lord be in my corner. Because we've seen what the Lord will do. The Lord destroyed the entire earth, you understand, except for 8 people one time, right?
Right.
Like that happened. You know, the Lord is not weak, man. They say the Lord is a man of war. He ain't no sucker, you know? But guess what? These leaders that we voted for, they are cowards. Understand? They are weak. You understand? You got any more on that?
From the top, my people are destroyed from a lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. You understand? This is what happens to our people. Like, if you want to know the conditions why we're in the conditions we're in, this is why. Because we're rejecting the knowledge that the Lord has given us. So when we reject the knowledge that the Lord has given us, naturally the Lord is going to reject us, you understand? And now that since the Lord has rejected us, we feel like we got to go and vote and side with the wicked now. We don't have to, man. The Lord is sending his priests and prophets to the earth, into the earth. And we're teaching his people how to serve him again. You understand? Keep going.
That thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
And this is so heavy, man. And this is so heavy because this goes along with the curses that we read earlier as well. This goes along with them curses, saying that thou shalt be no priest to me. Like, it's the duty of every black man, Hispanic, and Native man, you understand, to be a priest to the Lord, you understand? That's the whole duty of man, is to serve the Lord, you understand? Fear God and keep his commandments, right? Why wouldn't you want to be a priest to the Lord himself, you understand?
Right.
The Lord is saying, you shall not be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, you understand? Like, how can I call you my priest when you've forgotten the very things that I've told you to do, you understand?
Right.
You've forgotten the things I've told you to do. So if you've forgotten what I've told you to do, what are you going to teach my people? You understand? How can a man raise up a son, that son turn his back on him, forget every rule and regulation that he taught him in his house, you feel me? Is that boy still that man's son? No, he's not. He's the son to whatever. He's the son of whatever, or the child of whatever he's choosing to follow. You feel me?
Right.
That's what he becomes. You want to be a son of the street? You feel me? Go do street. Go do what the streets do. You feel me? But you want to be a son of mine? You feel me? You do what I tell you to do. You got something?
Yeah, that's a heavy scripture that we need to pay attention to, because that's why our kids are being destroyed in the streets, because we don't know the laws of God. We don't obey them. Right. We don't understand, and we don't do what he say. But all our kids are being destroyed out here in the streets, not because they're not listening to us.
Right.
Because we're not teaching them nothing. So the Bible is definitely saying what's coming true.
Right. And like the scripture said, I will also forget thy children. You understand? Like, that scripture right there, you feel me, should strike fear in the hearts of every parent.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because as a parent, you realize, like, especially living in this society, right? Typically, the so-called white man, he already separated your household. That's already. Yeah, I mean, so the father and mother are typically not together in that house anyway, you understand? So then your parent gotta go to work, right? The mother or father gotta go to work. So typically what happens is you gotta drop that kid off with a daycare provider. You gotta drop that kid off in school. You gotta drop that kid off with a stranger who you truly don't know, right?
Right.
So you realize, as a parent, you realize how fragile being a parent can be at times. You see what I'm saying? Because you got to put your faith in people who you don't know to raise and take care of your kids. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's damn near torture. You see what I'm saying? So the Lord is saying, I will also forget thy children. The one thing you can put some hope into, or the one thing you can put some confidence in, is the fact that you serve the Lord. The Lord said, if you serve him, he'll protect you. He'll protect your family. He'll put a hedge amongst your family. You see what I'm saying? Like, you serve the Lord, and you feel like, okay, I don't have to have the same worries that I once had because I served the Lord, you feel me? The Lord will protect my child when I'm not with him. Shit, the Lord will protect my child when I am with him. That's the only hope we can put into this society as it pertains to our kids, right? So imagine if you're not serving the Lord. Imagine if you're not doing what the Lord told you to do. But yet you still gotta leave your kid with strangers. You gotta leave your kid in a system that's against you and your people. You see what I'm saying? The Lord is saying, I will forget thy children. You feel me? Like, that scripture is enough to strike fear in every parent. If that's not enough to put fear in you and make you want to serve these laws, statutes, and commandments, you feel me? This is the problem of being raised in this society itself. This is what the devil wants you to feel, you understand? Just like he wants us to vote. Just like he wants us to do away with the law, statutes, and commandments, you feel me? Don't follow God, man. Them commandments are done away with, man. They old school. You ain't gotta do all that. You can eat whatever you want to eat. All you gotta do is pray over it, right? And it's blessed. You eat those crabs, you eat that shrimp, guess what? The Lord can kill your child, man. You see what I'm saying? Like, for every parent, that should strike fear in the hearts of every parent to know that you're not even in control of your own, you're not in control of your child's life. You're not in control of your own life, you understand? The only safety that you have is coming back to the Lord, man, and keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. We see it all the time. Like, even in the midst of a global pandemic of the coronavirus, the murders in Baltimore did not slow down, man. What does that tell us? There has been no hedge set apart over top of us because we've been tricked out of our inheritance, man. Good.
That's why it's so powerful, man, that we read the Bible, because God was letting us know how to get that hedge when he gave us the story of Job.
Right.
I mean, the things that Job did and how he kept the law, statutes, and commandments to a T, prayed, sacrificed to when his kids left. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He did the right things, and that's the reason for the Bible, man. We need to practice these righteous acts that the Lord gave us in this Bible.
Right, and that's the whole purpose for it. Like, we reading these stories and we reading of all of the mistakes that's been made so that we won't make them.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, we saying what other men, what other brothers and other sisters have went through. You feel me? Not so we can duplicate their mistakes. You know, these scriptures were written so that we won't do what they did. You understand?
To learn.
We supposed to learn from these scriptures and become better.
Right.
You understand? Like, even Christ said, the men that come after me shall do greater works than I.
Right.
Like, Christ even knew that it's going to be men that come after me, and every great thing that I've done, they're going to do greater things. You understand? So we got the records. We got the records showing, like, okay, in this situation, this brother moved this way. This sister moved this way, you feel me? And we've seen the punishment that the Lord placed upon them because they did it this way, you feel me? That's not giving us permission, or that's not giving us a pass to commit the same crime, you understand, against the Lord. What that's telling us, don't do those things. You understand? They say David was a man after God's own heart, you feel me? Except for the matter of Uriah the Hittite, you understand? Should we do those things too? Like, should we go and sleep with another brother's wife and say, well, damn, David did it. If David did it, why can't I do it? Should that be our attitude? No. We should say, okay, we see how the Lord dealt with David in that situation. We should not do that because we don't want that to happen in us. You understand? And this is what the Lord is telling us, man. The Lord is giving us the blueprint to take this earth over. Why should we have to vote if we're ruling the world? You see what I'm saying? That's because we're still slaves, man.
Right.
We're still asking to be equal to our oppressor. Like, that goes against common sense. That goes against the law of nature. Like, the law of nature say the strong must survive, right? Like, you realize that you got to be more powerful than something that's coming up against you in order for you to win, right? Why would the so-called white man want to give us equality? That goes against the laws of nature, you understand? If he give us equality, you feel me? That means that everything that made him who he is in this earth will be null and void, you feel me?
Right.
An animal wouldn't do that. The lion is not trying to be equal to the impala, you feel me? To the gazelle. But we got to start looking at it and realize that we got to stop trying to be equal with the so-called white man. We got to stop trying to be equal with these other nations. The Lord did not call us for that, man. And the one thing that we got to do is we got to shake this Christianity off of us, you feel me? Like, we got to come out of this world. We got to come out of this system that we in, you understand? Because Christianity, all the pastors right now, man, they signing people up in church right now to vote. We just went through the scriptures where the Lord said that it's a sin to set these men above you. You understand?
Right.
They got voting ballots going to be in the church pew. They're going to make sure all the congregants vote. You understand? To set a devil above them. And then they're going to sit there and say, man, them brothers in the Isupk, man, they wicked, man. Do you see they wear black shirts? They say you can have more than one wife. Man, they talk a little more aggressive than everybody else, you feel? We the evil ones, and they up there sleeping with God knows what in their church, you understand? They putting out people on death row, man. They giving out like they causing blacks, Hispanics, and natives to choose death over life, man. Anytime you choose to vote and set a king above you, that's pretty much saying that you're going to now become an enemy of the Lord himself, you feel me? And again, this is why you see the death rates the way they are in our community, you understand? Vote or die is vote and die. It's not a choice. That's not a choice in the matter. You don't, if I vote, man, I'm going to live, you feel me? But if I don't, I'm going to die. If you vote, you will die. You see what I'm saying? What's the proof of it? Black people voted to get Barack Obama in there, right? And we still was getting bullets to the back, bullets to the head, you feel me? How about we try something different, man? Come back to keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. Get up in class here in the Isupk. If you're in Baltimore, man, come on to the school, 3430 Eastern Avenue, man. Monday through Friday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. 10 to 12 on Saturday, man, the Sabbath. Come take your culture back. Understand that you come from a rich history, man. Our history does not start with slavery. Like, the Bible is not a religious book. The Bible is records of our culture, man. It's records of our forefathers and foremothers, man. We come from royalty. Like, people always say, what's up? You know, you see the brothers, especially in the comments, what's up, king? What's up, queen? And all that, job, you feel me? Like, but to be real, man, we come from a rich history, man. We just got to tap into it because everybody in every other nation, they know who we are and they know how great we are. But they also know that we don't know. Our records got stolen, theirs didn't. They know that we the children of Israel, and they also know the God that we serve. And they know that we come back to keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. The God that love us is going to turn his fury from us and turn it towards them. That's why they got to keep us in this condition. That's why they set wicked leaders up to oversee us, you understand? You hear pastor say he went to seminary school and he got his certificate of completion to be a pastor. You just understand that he's a product of the devil, you feel me? That's not a godly man. You see the Isupk on the streets? You see us on the corners and we talking loud and we got the mic in our hand and we standing in that pulpit of wood. You understand? Realize that these are the true priests and prophets of the Most High, man. Don't just walk by. Come and get this, man. If I could, let me get Amos. Let me get Amos 3 and 1 at the fucking show. That's the issue, man. We've never been taught how special we are to the Lord. That's like a child who never received love from a parent, you feel me? A child that never received love from a parent, they go out and they try to find love in all forms, and every other form outside of the house, you understand? Anybody that buy them a hot meal, they give their loyalty to you. Feel me?
Right.
That's how we is. It's like we for hire. You know, anybody that'll show us a little bit of kindness, you feel me? We just fall under them. We give them all that loyalty. You feel me? We got to come out of that system, man. We've never been taught how special we are to the Lord. You understand? Go ahead.
Amos 3:1.
Come.
Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
He said against the children of Israel, against the whole family, man. Against the whole family. Realize that we're not individuals in this. This is a family thing, man. One is not better than the other. If we're gonna suffer, we're gonna suffer together. You feel me? If we're gonna flourish, we're gonna flourish together. You see what I'm saying? Like this is a family thing, man. Go ahead.
Saying, you only have I known.
You only have I known. You only have I known. Keep going.
Of all the families of the earth.
Of all the families of the earth, man. Of all the families of the earth, man. You lost in the world right now, right? You done left your father's house, man. You in the world, you gang banging. You done been to prison. You out here, you got bodies on you, feel me? And, a strong man comes in there and he finds you one day, right? Everybody giving credence to him, man. That's such and such right there, man. You know who that is? That's such and such right there, man. And that man of promise comes and looks you square in your eyes and tell you, you only have I known. Only you. Of everybody else in here, if everybody else around you, I've only known you, feel me? Like, imagine feeling that way. Whatever man you respect, whomever you respect the most, imagine him coming to you and telling you of everybody around you, everybody that you've seen, only you. You're the only one that he's known, you understand? Imagine that, man. The Most High is telling blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, you only have I known. Of all the families of the earth. Of all the families of the earth. Keep going.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquity.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquity. You understand? The Lord is a great father, man. The Lord is a great father. Everybody else, they can do what they want to do, you feel me? And it may seem like they flourishing, like nobody, it's like, you know, they do wickedness and it's like they prosper, right? But as soon as you can do the smallest thing, you feel me, get caught, now you go to central booking. You see what I'm saying? They over here, they robbing banks, they doing X, Y, and Z. You still a little deputy out the corner store, and you go to central booking, you feel me? They trying to put numbers on you, feel me?
Right.
Good.
That's powerful, man. We need to realize that we are here to prove something to God. We got to realize that we're here in slavery.
Right.
So he ain't worrying about what the other nations do. He let them do it.
Right.
To try us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We here to try getting tried to see if we're going to keep it real with the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High.
Right.
Because we disobeyed it so many lives before. So now we get tested constantly by watching somebody else get away with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's really happening.
That's real right there. We got to prove ourselves to the Most High by being righteous while we see so much unrighteous around us and we still don't join it. You see what I'm saying? This man robbed a bank over here, you feel me? He come up, he washed the money and everything. He living good, you feel me? He got a house on the hills. He got any car you want.
Yeah.
You know, he looking good.
He got all the drugs in the world and never get locked up.
Never get locked up. He got the baddest women around him. You see what I'm saying? He ain't got a worry in the world. And you go over here and
try to do it.
Yeah, you go over here and you try to do it. You do the smallest thing, you feel me? They start throwing football numbers at you in court. You see what I'm saying? And you say, well, goddamn, I did this and you did that, you feel me? Look at my condition. Realize that that's love, man. That's what you got to realize. That's love. That's real love. You see what I'm saying? The Lord is going to punish you because he actually loves you, man. The Lord ain't punishing them because the Lord don't give a damn about them. You punish your child in your house when they do wrong against what you taught them. You don't go out there and punish the neighborhood kids. You see what I'm saying? You punish those that belong to you. We belong to the Lord, and the Lord punishes us for our iniquities, man. Good?
We got to unharden our heart and listen to the Lord like God. We harden our heart by watching these and dealing with these other nations.
Yeah, and that's true, man. We got to unharden our hearts, man. Stop listening to these wicked leaders who listen to the so-called white man, you feel me?
Right.
And we got to come back to keeping these laws, statutes, commandments, and doing what the Lord told us to do, you feel me? And with that, I want to pass the glass over to Priest and Officer of 1,000 of Barbara for the reading of the security announcements. And I want to say with that, Shalom, people. Shalom, Israel.
Security announcements. We are the Isupk out of 1 West 125th Street, all New York, under Commander General Yohana. Brief rules for brothers and sisters. When a brother and sister come to the school, they are all learned for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to that brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3 and 8 through 10. Means 10 in the Hebrew, and it's pronounced by Isupk. 10% of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Preach funds. Free will offerings for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations. This Friday is the closing of the Feast of Tabernacle. Still waiting to hear about the Passover. You check with your captain and your city. Remind Hakim Atwell to check the social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If your brother wants to become a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. With that, you're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel, Almighty. Almighty Shabbat. Almighty, Rock, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatuh. Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatuh. That's the time. Thanks, Smith.